Hi Chloe, where are we going today?
Legoland!
No.
Old Towers!
No.
Sainsbury's!
No.
Toys R Us?
No. Shall I tell you?
Yeah, Aston Martin?
No.
My mind has gone blank.
We're going to the NEC.
NEC!
Yeah. And what's going on at the NEC today?
Classic cars.
Yes. So you get to see all your lovely classic cars.
And people.
And people.
Get to see Fuzz.
If he's there, you get to see Fuzz Townshend and Anstead, Ed
Brewer.
China, Mike Brewer, and
A special person today. We're
yeah,
going to look for it.
Drew Pritchard from
Pritchard.
Salvage Hunters.
I know he's not to do with cars, but he's a petrohead.
He is a fellow
Loves his
petrohead.
Meadows.
He certainly does indeed.
So that's why he'd be there.
Yes.
And we're gonna hunt you down.
And we're going to come and find you.
We're gonna find you. Legoland.
No, at the NEC.
NEC.
Retro Renovations. Do not go away.
Hi, my name is Martyn. I'm the owner of this 1957 Frisky Sport. Frisky started making these cars in 1957 and made two prototypes. One went on the motor show and this car did the Monte Carlo run in 1958 January. It added two extra wheels on the back to get it over the Pyrenees. Did it in 23 and a half hours, which was a brilliant time. And they drove non-stop apart from fuel. 23 hours in this car non-stop with two drivers was quite a feat. The car itself was one of the first two prototypes made, and it is different to the production models. They made them too good. They put plenty of bling on it, and they put a white hood on, which was more expensive. And the production cars are a lot cheaper. They're made with ordinary hinges, no bling, external doors, no nothing. They only lasted 3 years, and the Mini came out and killed it dead. They did carry on for another 2 years after that, making a three-wheeler version, which sold very good. But it died in 1982. This car then stayed in the factory because the factory doors were just shut, and was discovered in 1982. From that, it's then passed through several hands until I found it in 2010. I spent 5 years rebuilding it to its present form, and it is totally sure and I shall never sell it because I love it dearly.
If you'd like to introduce yourself.
I'm Martyn Hubbard.
Nice to meet you. We're looking at a 1991, is it a Rover Maestro?
It is a Rover Maestro,
Yeah.
1.6 automatic Clubman.
Not many of the automatics left.
No.
And this car is in phenomenal condition. I mean, and it's, what would they call that grey? Is that a charcoal grey?
I believe so, yes. I'm not quite sure from the paint code what colour the car actually is.
Yeah, like I say, it's in phenomenal condition. You got it July this year.
I did.
Is it your
yes.
daily driver?
No. It's just something that comes out on a Sunday afternoon.
Oh, fair play. Yeah. What do you drive as a modern car?
As a modern car, I have a Fiat 500X.
Oh, fair play. I nearly bought one of them.
It's a Fiat 500 on steroids.
What made you buy a Maestro as a classic car?
It's nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, it is nostalgia. I spent many of my childhood years in a Maestro. My granddad owned a couple of Maestros. My dad also had an early MG 1600.
Oh, good fun.
Yeah. So spent a lot of time in a Maestro.
It's something about having a childhood sort of car. I mean, my dad had a Capri and a Granada, and now every time I see a sort of two-tone Granada, it just reminds me of all those childhood trips and
definitely.
so on. So it reminds you of lots of childhood trips.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, going on family holidays and so on.
Family holidays, yeah. And then you say it's low mileage.
It's just turned over this week 73,000.
It's phenomenal. And it's all original. You've got the original hubcaps, interiors, and you've got the only unleaky sunroof in the UK.
Possibly, yeah, for now.
Yeah, no, it's a lovely car, and it's we were saying with the one next door that's done the Mongrol Rally, the amount of space when they designed this car. You open the hatch and all that space inside. And yet it was their version of a microcar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even the visibility as well is fantastic. And actually, when we had the club AGM in Coventry last week, somebody actually stopped me. It was an American chap, and he actually said, "Oh, the visibility on this car's fantastic." He said, "You can see everything. There's no blind spots."
Yeah.
Like, he was really impressed. I don't think he'd ever seen one.
And they did that really clever design. I mean, the pillars were small.
Yeah.
The glass at the back and so on. And they followed that all the way through. I mean, have you driven like the Rover 214 and the 216 model?
I drove a 414. I owned one up till recently, the end of last year.
And that's like a greenhouse. You're hot in the summer, but you appreciate the visibility. They're just and we drive modern cars now. Recently, our friend had... forget which model it was, not a Mariva, but the bigger Vauxhall.
Yeah.
And I get to a roundabout, and you don't stop at a roundabout straight, you stop at a roundabout at an angle. And I was just confronted with this giant pillar, and I'm like,
which way
do I lean left? Do I lean right? I can't see the roundabout, And no, these cars so comfy to drive. Do you find the suspension soft and that is quite pleasurable to drive?
Yeah, it's not too bad,
Yeah. And you say it's a 3-speed automatic, so...
It is a 3-speed automatic, yeah. So once we get on the motorway, 55, 60 is as fast as it's going.
This was marketed, without being too harsh on it, at Beryl, who was in retirement and was never going to see a motorway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's had, before myself, it had 2 lady owners, so that speaks for itself.
That speaks for itself. Same as there was a Radio 2, one of those funny of the days, confession stories.
Yeah.
And there was a Vandenplas Metro story. And it was 2 elderly ladies, and this chap had come off his bike. And he was going his fancy dress. Zaphod zebra box from Hitchhikers. So he had two heads, and the two heads were in helmets, and he slipped on ice, come off this, and this head came off and rolled towards his couple in a Vandenplas Metro, and apparently they freaked out and drove off at high speed. It didn't stop to help him. And then the people were ringing in saying, "Oh, every elderly person used to drive a Vandenplas and a Metro." But that's why they're here now. That has done us the favour. The older generation bought these, and they're still in low mileage and about. But yeah, phenomenal condition, lovely bodywork. Anything else you'd like to sort of say? Okay, brilliant. Thank you for doing the talk.
That's all right. You're welcome.
Cheers.
Hi Chloe, I'm Sasha,
How you doing?
and this is my van. Affectionately known as Basil.
Sasha's husband saved us big time, got the gearbox for our van. We're motoring again when it works. But we're focusing on this van today. What year is it?
This is a 1968.
You want to see the paintwork on it is phenomenal.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of hard work went into the paint. It is all airbrush. And all of the work actually went into the prep before I even got to the paint, because I had to panel beat the whole van. Yeah, when I got it, the original owner, he loved it so much he drove it around the whole of Europe, and you could tell by looking at it that he had driven the whole of Europe.
Every hedge.
I think every bollard, yeah. Basically, both sides were completely caved in. So after a lot of beating, no, it's all original panels. Yeah, completely original. Have you ever tried to get a panel for a bump on transit?
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah,
No,
I'm amazed that
everything's
is
original. Yeah.
phenomenal work. I mean,
Yeah,
you
thank
see
you.
how it's
A lot of that, months of my life.
do the airbrush?
Yeah. I did the whole thing. Yeah, my husband did the welding, my mum made the curtains, and we had help from other people with bits and pieces, but basically the whole thing is built.
It's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Thank you.
Just unbelievable. I'm not normally speechless, but the work on this van, I'm speechless.
Oh, thank you.
What made you go with that design?
Oh, I actually thought of the design before I got the van. I just had it in my mind about this colour scheme and about having Jimi Hendrix on a vehicle, because I knew I wanted the Mark I Transit as a camper van because of the width of it. Because other camper vans, I would no mentions of makes applied here, but they're just not as wide inside, and because we can sleep sideways in them, you can get so much more in with the configuration. So I knew I wanted this van, I knew I wanted the paint scheme, I just then waiting for the van to come to me like in a dream. And I went around my parents one day, and my dad had got this and then nicked all the bits off it that he wanted for his van and left a sad hulk in the driveway, and he was like, I don't know what to do with this, I'm going to cut the floor out. And I was like, shh, don't speak, and just went lovingly towards it with my arms open. I was like, so yeah, it became mine. And we saw on the keyring it had Bristol Street Motors. My granddad used to run on Bristol Street Motors, and his name was Basil, hence the name.
Oh,
So yeah.
Did the year of the van sort of inspire you towards the design?
I think only because obviously Transit was created in '65. That's why I knew in that era it would work really well with Jimi Hendrix, because it's right in the prime time of Hendrix. I think
you got it, was it completely stripped out? Was there some essence of the canvas still in there?
that interior is the interior. Yeah. So when I got it was a camper. The original owner bought the plain panel van, and then he contacted the company Holdsworth and then fitted this himself. So he did the roof as a Canterbury conversion roof, and then the interior mould and genuinely worms in the windows. Yeah, so, and the inside was a bit drab, so we just like carefully took it all out. My husband's uncle is a woodworker, so he just like sanded everything, painted everything, and then we got some like kitchen doors and they went on, and then we got an upholsterer to make the cushions. And then everything else we just sort of tinkered with to just have it like having that sort of like feel that's like you can tell that I made the fact. If I'm looking really drab today, I normally look really jazzy, but I was like, how can I put my mind on the vehicle so that you're kind of looking at it? And but yeah, the interior, I sat in the B&Q car park in my van with swatches. It's just like, gas paint, let's make this. So yeah, that's why the inside is like that.
It's wonderful.
Thank you.
Absolute credit to you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I'm Max Oliver from Oxford. This is my Maestro.
Done the Mongrol Rally.
Yeah, we did the Mongrol Rally this year. We drove it all the way from Goodwood Estate to Kazakhstan back, covering some 22 countries, 11,000 miles in 6 weeks, coming back via the Arctic Circle as well. And yeah, absolutely nothing went wrong. I spent about 250 hours sort of doing some basic maintenance and stuff on the car before we left, and we didn't let us down once. It was all for charity, so we painted it to look like a psychedelic rainforest because we endorsed Cool Earth, which is an anti-deforestation charity set up to protect indigenous communities in the Amazon. Raised, I think, 1,249 quid. Yeah.
You say you've done like 11,000 miles in 6 weeks.
Yeah, 11,000 miles in 6 weeks, pre-made. Anywhere up to, I think the highest temperature was 47 degrees Celsius, and up to 51 degrees in the car. We had to have the heating on full the whole time, blowing hot air from the engine. Yeah, and so when you're in a desert, that's not better.
All the windows down.
All the windows down, yeah. There ends up being as much sand inside the car as outside. There's pretty good photos. Yeah, some awesome adventures. I'm not sure how many Maestros have made it to Kazakhstan instead. Yeah. And back, yeah.
What made you choose a Maestro?
I've grown up around a bus company run by my dad, and all the vehicles in the fleet were Lenovo vehicles, and so I had a bit of an interest there, and I wanted to pick something that would be quite insane to make it back, because a lot of people pick Nissan Micras, which are just bulletproof and they're really cheap, so it's quite boring. Yeah, exactly. Well, then I found out that the Maestro was supposed to be the worst car ever made in the UK, and I thought, perfect. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I figured that out quite quickly. I found it on eBay, and after I finished exams, I went to the pub with some mates in May and got a notification from eBay saying, it's 1996 Austin Maestro ending soon, and got drunk, forgot about it, woke up the next day, hung over with an email from eBay saying congratulations, you've won Austin Maestro. So we went to pick it up. Of course, I hadn't read the description of the car whatsoever, so I turn up in Pontypridd in South Wales, ring the guy up and say, can you come pick us up? And he's like, we're not got a trailer. Car's been off the road for 5 years, so get there, put a jump pack on it, fire it up, drive it home, wipe the mould off the windscreen, off we go. Brakes were a bit scary, yeah. Yeah, so just put some super one headers in it, and the 4-year-old petrol wasn't great. Yeah.
Little 1.3 engine. Many of the 1.3s left now. 1.6 and 2 litre, but the 1.3 is a little bit underpowered when you're putting
A little bit, yeah. It started life, I think, with 61 or 62 horsepower. I'm not sure how many of those it's got there. Yeah, I'm sure a few of them are bolters. Yeah, pretty slow. It's a mad thing, like this engine was developed in the late 1940s, I think, with the Anstead 30, and they put it in everything up until 2001, I think, with the old minis, but it's not making that. Yeah, absolutely mad.
the last Maestro.
Yeah.
Around 2000.
Yeah, it's the latest one, I think, is registered on the 51 plate. Because this is, we took this back to where it was made. It was made in Varna, in Bulgaria. Yeah, it was. They stopped making these in the UK in I think 93 or 92, and then the Bulgarian government took legal rights to it. They wanted it to be their sort of communist car out there, and so Rover spent 20 million quid on building a state-of-the-art factory out there, hoping that they'd sell 20,000 of these a year. They sold, I think, 1,000 of them, and the whole thing collapsed. And this is one of the rare ones that was actually built out there and sold. And it spent 3 years in a container ship out there, and then sent back to the UK and sold as the cheapest car on sale. Yeah.
To try and get some money back for the millions.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was the biggest foreign direct investment since the Cold War or something, and it was a total failure.
Going back to the car, you've got phenomenal amount of room.
Yeah.
In Mongrol, if you'd gone in this satellite, you would have been sat with all your stuff on your lap.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
There's plenty of room.
Yeah, massive amount of room, and only 2 of us went, but you can imagine going for that long and sort of the spare parts and things that you think you might need. I guess that was the biggest annoyance with it, is that I took so many spare parts because I was just terrified that the whole thing was break at every point. Because I didn't use anything, did I? I had like kilos and kilos of spring compressors, struts.
I've watched the Mongrol Rally.
Oh.
Those roads are the roughest.
That is insane. In Kazakhstan, most of the roads were so bad, there were potholes every probably 20 feet that were deep enough that you could bury a cow in it. And so if you went into any of these potholes at rush hour speeds, the car would have been written off. Like they're that deep, it's insane. And suspension is totally original, and because I assume suspension is going to be the thing that breaks, but it's still absolutely fine. Yeah, some of the roads are so rutted, like sort of corrugated iron roof style,
You go through many tyres?
None.
The whole time?
None.
Wow.
Yeah, none, yeah. Well, yeah, when I bought it, the tyres it had on it were dated as 1985, all the way around it. The car was made in 96. So, and some of the part numbers, like the alternator was made in 1987 and things like that. It's just a mismatch of inserts, but somehow it made it there and back. I'd like to take it to Africa or something next. I want to do something a bit crazy with it, seeing as it works. My plan was to put a Rover V8 in it or something to give it slightly more, but the engine's done so well in there.
You're going to struggle finding regular fuels.
Yeah.
And with the heating, you ain't going to want to sit with those canisters.
No, yeah.
Probably the 1.3 is probably the good thing to go with.
Yeah, but the fuel consumption was insane. We averaged the highest fuel consumption we managed to, one tank of fuel was 54 miles per gallon. Which is insane. I mean, the suspension was on its knees because of all the weight and everything. And doing like nearly 500, 600 miles to a tank of fuel.
Give it a pack. Deserves a pack. Phenomenal bit of engineering.
Yeah. Little Maestro that goes.
I think you've done it justice.
Yeah.
Justice to the Maestro.
Yeah. No, I fell totally in love with it. Because my teammate left me in Finland, so I drove back by the Arctic Circle on my own, and it was just phenomenal. I drove up to 17 hours a day, did thousands of miles, and never missed a beat once. Just kept going.
The armour question is, do you still use it over here, or have you bought something else for the UK?
I kind of want to, just for the fuel consumption. It's so good, But yeah, no, my daily drive is an Alpha GT V6, which drinks slightly more. It's occasionally weirdly less reliable, but
We got Alfa Romeo meter.
oh yeah, yeah.
And we've got a new mechanic who recently took it on.
Oh right.
And, it's a little car. It's phenomenal. You've never driven
Yeah.
little hot hatch.
Yeah.
Power and going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really good. So, fair play up and down. But we've got a Montego as well. So.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I'm totally calm now. It's like my dad taught me to drive when I was 5 years old, so it runs through me really. Got an MGF as well. Yeah, really nice and cheap.
Drive it carefully because it's very serious.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, got to be careful about that. But the problem is, there's this guy called Neil Willits who makes custom-made exhausts for them, which are like pieces of art. It's the only straight-through system you can actually get for them. It's not a chamber box, and it just sounds phenomenal. Like 300 quid or something. But obviously, you've got to be a bit careful because of the head gasket problems. You can't flash it round everywhere.
They designed it, but they were careful with it. Like, and then you have to go by and you'll be like, was that an electric? It's also there so much.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and I think it's worth it. The whole quality.
Yeah.
They were snagged off to begin with, but now.
I think it's fantastic. It's really comfy. Besides, it's got the hydroelastic suspension. The handles, you wouldn't think that it's bad. I mean, the motor encapsulated being soft, but I mean it's not. It's what depends what people want to pay. So 750 quid. Yeah, it's British Racing Green. Love it.
I was following one the other day, had a green vinyl roof.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to try that looks like.
Yeah, amazing how cheap they are. I'm sure they'll probably start creeping up at some point, maybe. They can't get much cheaper than they are now.
Another British legend, that's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the bad ones are blown up now, so if you buy one now.
Well, so yeah, it clearly works a bit.
Well, thanks for doing the interview with us.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, absolute pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, and you.
Right, this is the SLR. Don't worry, I've got this.
It's an exaggerated version.
And as he got to this position, the bin lid fell in.
Yeah.
He went.
Yeah.
Splash.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh shit.